everyone, welcome back to the Augsburg Biweekly Updates. We're getting real close to the season. I'm sitting here with Coach Keith Bateman. Thanks again for coming on, Coach. Brett Cloutier, appreciate it again. We're sitting here, and since the season's getting so close, positional breakdown is what we're going to get into here. We're going to start with, Coach, what I believe to be our strongest position, and I'm not sure how you feel about it, but returning Craig Henry, batted .395, 2 home runs, 34 RBIs last year, 3-time All-MIAC, Collegiate Baseball Magazine. He's getting, as you said, getting ink in there as player to watch in D3. So, is this your strongest position? And Craig Henry coming back has got to be just a huge asset to the team.
Wow, just throw me under the bus with if I say it's the strongest position, what are my pitchers gonna say? I think athletically, yeah, we have a lot of talent and a lot of depth there. I think that Craig has since day one, coming to Augsburg, he's been a leader and been just a phenomenal baseball player. And so having him back there is a great it's a great asset. And when you look at the rest of the guys that we have back there, it's a pretty athletic group. And a lot of them have, a couple of them have seen some time at the varsity level, but and what I saw this fall leads me to believe that it might be our deepest position.
I mean, you return junior Brian Norby, who batted .229 last year with a home run and 9 RBIs, and then sophomore Trent Anderson, who batted .214. And they got their feet under him last year. I mean, Trent in his freshman year and Brian his sophomore year. What do you expect from them coming into this season with Craig? Like you said, probably being the projected starter.
Yeah, I think that what's nice about that is catching position is kind of like that quarterback, and you have to have depth there. And so if somebody gets hurt, your starter, you have to have somebody that you feel very comfortable to put in there, and you're not going to miss a beat. And I think we have that both with Bryant and with Trent. I think Bryant has proven over his career here that he's a very capable catcher. Got a very strong arm. The pitchers like throwing to him. He receives real well, blocks real well, and Trent's a phenomenal receiver in his own right. Blocks the ball, just has a real confident air about him back there. So I think that when you look at the overall spot with those guys, it's nice to have depth back there because there were years we didn't. And then with some of the younger guys and the new guys that we brought in, I think that it provides a very competitive environment.
You really rounded it out perfectly there with the new guys coming in. You talked about depth and talent in this group that's coming in. 3 first-year guys. Just a lot of solid players. Adam Seaman, Indian Hills Community College, Tarleton Community College came in. Zach Nelson, brother of Marshall Nelson, is a pitcher on the team, and Zach Pavlicic from Arizona. So tell us about those guys. What you kind of expect from them, and where do you see them fitting on this team? Because they're so talented, you just don't want to see them on the bench.
Yeah, no, and that's where it's kind of interesting how that all works out. Where it's kind of a perfect storm. We've had, this is my 7th year, so I've had an all-conference catcher every year except for my first year, and you could make an argument that Knopfler deserved it that year as well. So it's nice to be able to recruit some good guys that want to be here and want to be part of the program. But within the newer guys that we brought in, Adam is a phenomenal hitter. We recruited him hard out of high school, and he kind of went a different route to be here, and we're excited to have him. I think Zach Pavlicic comes to us from Arizona, and I was impressed with his receiving skills. We're working on some hitting stuff, and Zach Nelson is the same way. He's a very capable collegiate catcher, and he's working on kind of his hitting and needs to kind of develop that mental approach as well. And so, boy, when you can go kind of 6 deep, and like you said, you don't want anybody you want to get that playing time, and so what's really nice as well is, and this kind of gets into the depth part, is that they're athletic. And so a guy like Trent Anderson has been taking balls at third base and could be a capable first baseman if we needed it, and Brian Norby got up on the hill in fall ball and looked really good. And so you try to find, when guys are athletic and can play, you try to find positions for them to do that. Pavlicic could be an infield type candidate. Zach Nelson can play corner infield spot, and Adam Seaman kind of had some arm stuff this fall, and so it'll be interesting to see where he develops as we kind of get into practice here February 1st. So I mean it's a legitimate question. It's a good problem to have.
Right, exactly.
When you can say, holy cow, any one of your guys could start, but I think it also tells you kind of how good you need to be a catcher here at Augsburg.
You kind of hit on the depth chart there. he's been your starting catcher now for 3 years now. You haven't seen the guys in the last 3 months working out. And last time you saw him was in the middle of October. Does Craig Henry come in this season as a starting catcher, or will some of these other guys kind of push him for some playing time?
Well, I think that's kind of the nice thing about Craig is that, yeah, he kind of it wouldn't be real intelligent to say no, it's up for competition. I mean, there's been a 3-year all-conference. He's an all-region catcher, and arguably one of the best catchers in the region. And so to say that he's got to compete for his spot, I think is a disservice to him. And you're right, we haven't seen anything. We don't start up till February 1st here, so we haven't seen anything since the fall. But Craig looked great in the fall, and what a guy like Craig is going to do is look at the other guys and say, man, I got to be this much better. And he's not going to sit in his spot and say, look at me, I'm the guy. He's going to work harder. And a guy like Nordby is going to push himself because of a guy like Trent, and Trent's going to push himself because of Nordby and Adam. And it's just kind of cool that guys want to be part of that program. But yeah, Craig is, barring some unforeseen injury, or if he's gotten terrible in the last couple of months that I don't know about, he should be our guy opening day.
So you talk about, you're talking about how other guys are fitting in, Trent taking balls at first and third, Adam, and possibly a DH candidate. So looking at all around and Brian on the hill, since there may not be a lot of reps at catcher open if Craig, barring unforeseen sudden loss of talent, is still at his top form. Maybe do you see guys getting reps on your quote reserve squad, your JV squad that you're calling the reserve squad, maybe guys on varsity just doing different kinds of things?
Yeah, I think that the biggest thing is you want to give guys an opportunity to play so they can showcase their talent. And that's exactly what'll happen is trying to I guess at that reserve squad level to get guys the opportunities. Varsity level, we got to go out with the best players that are going to give us the opportunity to compete at a high level. But I think once again Trent's proven that he's a vital cog in this machine, and so is Nordby, especially on the hill. I mean, he did a really good job this fall, and he can shut down a run game. So I think, yeah, you try to be creative within that, but you also want to be true to your program and the other guys that are working hard at their positions. Instead of kind of being fair, you got to go out and compete. But
you talk about this reserve squad, and with a catcher as capable as Craig Henry, as like you said, you're probably a probable projected starter. How do you keep these other catchers motivated, not only for this year, but for the future down the road for their careers?
That's solid. I think that as we get into these positional stuff, we're going to see a lot of good players, a lot of depth, and that's always a challenge. But I think that any kid that comes here to Augsburg, we want you to be here for the program. If you're here because you want to hit 400 or you want to start every game or this, that, and the other, then you're at the wrong place. I want you to be here to be part of the program and to see Augsburg College baseball succeed. And so, the guys that are on that list, the Craig Henrys, the Brian Nordbys, the Adam Siemens, Trent Anderson, Zach Pavlicic, Zach Nelson, those guys all understand that from conversations with them in the fall. They understand that, hey, they're going to play a role one way or another in the success of this program. I mean, you look at a kid like Brian Ludwig, who was a catcher for us. I mean, he was a bullpen guy basically his first 3 years. Dude, he busted his tail. He believed in what Augsburg baseball stands for, and he went out his senior year and he carried us for a month, if not 2 months, and ended up being able to walk away and had a pretty solid career. But he never came in saying, hey, I need to be the starter. And that's the kind of guys we want here. So, that's, like you say, there's only one catcher that can get out there and catch unless some rule has changed. But, we want program guys.
That's as in-depth as it gets for catcher breakdown. Just looking more overall, I mean, we're 6 days away from the season. How you feeling? I mean, are you excited for the banquet? It's right the night before the season. We're having, midnight practice. Just lots and lots of exciting stuff coming out from the program.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of, like we talked about before, you try to be real organized with it and empower your assistants to help out in certain projects. But no, I'm very excited. I mean, I can't wait. We haven't worked with guys since the fall, and it's kind of, I'm a coach, man. That's what I want to do, is be out there working with the guys. And so February 1st comes, yeah, we're going to be at midnight. We'll get going. We got a kind of a fun event planned for that evening. We won't be putting in a 3-hour practice or anything, but we kind of have a fun event for that evening. And our preseason banquet, which we pretty much finalized today. We're going to have a kind of a panel of Edor Nelson, G. Roy Carlson, Darrell Weiss, and Bruce Nelson are going to kind of be our speakers for that. It's a question and answer thing, so we're going to have some rich Augsburg baseball history and tradition there. I mean, I get goosebumps just kind of thinking about what we have coming up, and once again, more importantly, is working with the players. I mean, being able to work with the players again in that baseball setting, man. We're chomping at the bit.
It's going to be a lot of fun. A great list of speakers right there. A laundry list of fantastic people and speakers, and it's going to be a lot of fun, as well as Midnight Madness in the Dome at Augsburg College. So, Keith Bateman, appreciate it. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Brett. Appreciate it again, man. We'll see you back here in 2 weeks to break down the infield position, folks. See you then.